knowledge work and all this stuff, right?
Yeah. No, I want to actually be really like give an example because we're talking, okay, truth,
Yeah.
harmony, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, hey, there's someone at a company and everybody in the company knows that that person's really hard to work with. Do you know who doesn't know? That person. There's different views of reality. There's different truths, right? There's different perceptions of reality that are present here. And sometimes when you're the person, and I think you and I have both been the person who has to go tell that person, hey, you're really hard to work with. Often the response is like, what? I didn't know that. Sometimes it's like, I know, and I'm grouchy, and that's part of my shtick or whatever. Like, okay, that's a different problem. But sometimes it's literally, I did not know I was hard to work with. Yes, you're hard to work with. Yes, it's hard to say things I know you're going to disagree with when you're in the room because you'll get offended and attack me. And these things, when you tell someone that, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's awkward. And especially if that's been there for a long time and everybody else knows it except that person, it's actually really hurt their ability to add value and everybody else's ability to work with that person. And when feedback is healthy, you don't get to that point. Mm-hmm. When we prioritize sharing a picture of reality, when I start realizing you're really hard to work with, and I start like, wait, I think a couple people, I'm noticing that you seem to have problems with a few people and you don't seem to notice it. I'm going to risk telling you from my experience, hey, you're hard to work with and here's why. And again, that's not the best way to frame it maybe or whatever, but I'm going to try that. And it's possible. And I've had this happen with people considered abrasive inside of organizations, be like, that's not who I want to be. And I'm like, okay, great. Like, what does it mean for you to be different? Here's what I see. And how do you want to relate to that? So that's what I mean when I talk about harmony, because that's it. The interesting thing is when you get the priorities wrong and you put harmony at the top, eventually actually the harmony becomes a fake. It becomes like a faux harmony. It becomes the mask we all wear because everybody in the company actually knows it's really hard to work with Bob, except Bob. And nobody tells him. And now this isn't harmony. This is pretend. We're all just being diplomatic when we need to work with Bob or whatever. And then we go and we talk at the water cooler about how annoying it is to work with Bob. And oh gosh, are we going to have to work with that guy again? Oh man, that is not the prioritization of feedback. That's not the prioritization of being honest, of openness, transparency. Those are other ways to frame it.
And, as we